Okay, I'll check it.
Month. So, this month, March, I am featuring the Playing in the Rain bundle. And all 4 cards will be made using this bundle. And but both the stamps and the dies. Here are the dies. And actually, next week, next Monday evening, I will be featuring, or actually it's Tuesday evening, March 7th, Tuesday, March 7th, will be my Facebook Live Dying to Know. And I will be using this stamp set. This die and stamp, we will use every piece of this, and I will demonstrate to you how each piece is to be used, because there are some pieces in here that you look at and you go, well, how do I use that? All right, so we're going to look at that next Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock, and we'll make a card. Actually, we'll make a couple of cards using these pieces. But today, the monthly stamp club is going to feature this set as well. It is such a cute set. So your monthly stamp club, this month, your club will include these 4 cards. You'll actually have 8. You'll make 8 cards. You'll make 2 each of these 4 cards. You will have a full color PDF tutorial. You will have envelopes, of course, to go with each card. You will receive, in addition, $20 to $25 in free products. And one of those products will be this Raindrops Embossing Folder. One will be the Old Olive and Sahara Sand Twill ribbon combo pack. So there's 2 rolls of ribbon in here. Let me just take them out. So here's the Sahara Sand ribbon and the Old Olive ribbon, and both of these ribbons will be used on your cards. And you will also receive these effervescent elements. So that should tell you that one of these cards is a shaker card. It is. One of them is a shaker card, and you can see here the elements moving around. These shaker cards are so easy. They're really, really easy. So, yes, that is one of the cards. So, let's look at the 4 cards. This card is on crumb cake using the Designer Series paper, and this is the only one that does not use one of the little creatures. But I wanted to do one that could be sent for any occasion to anybody. So this is one of them that will be included. This is one that will be included. Now, your kits will not be stamped. I cannot stamp your kits according to Stampin' Up's guidelines. But you can use any stamp you have available if you don't have this bundle. So like on this one, you could put anything on the inside. These are cut out of the Designer Series paper. So that is another neat feature of this month's Stamp Club, is all of the things can either be stamped and die cut. All of the little creatures can be stamped and die cut, or the dies will also cut the same creature out of the Designer Series paper. So there's that one. This one. Now, on this one, I stamped, but I will also include the turtle from the designer series paper if you choose to fussy cut it and use it on the front. But this one I did stamp. And the flowers are stamped, but you could use anything. You could use anything. And then the last one is our shaker card. And this rabbit is cut from the die cut from the designer series paper. The little fence or the little bridge is one of the dies, and it will be included in your kit already cut. The clouds can be stamped and die cut, or there are clouds on the designer series paper which can also be fussy cut. So all of this in your monthly stamp club this month, all of that, including your 3 products, all of that for $35. So that's a deal you can't beat. You just can't beat it. And if you live local, it will be ready for pickup by the 25th. And if you're not local, it's an additional $10 for mailing. And it will also be mailed out no later than the 25th. Now, the deadline for this stamp club is the 10th of the month, always. So you have from now until the 10th of the month to let me know that you want to participate. And it is a to-go, so, you know, anyone can participate in this. And you need to let me know and pay by the 10th of the month. All right. So which card are we going to make? You know, I did a video, Facebook Live, was it last week or the week before, making a shaker card. So I'm not going to do that again today, but you could go back and watch that video either on my Facebook page or on YouTube and find out how to do that. And so I thought what we would do is make this one, since it's a fun fold card, not your typical 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card. So this is the one we're going to do. The elements that are additional here are the stylish circles, or the stylish shapes die set. I used this die to cut the sentiment, and I used one of the circles to cut this. So that will already be cut for you in your kit. And let's see. Okay. So I'm going to set this aside so that we can see it, and I will show you the pieces that we will use. This is Flirty Flamingo cardstock, and we'll use that for the base. The designer series paper that we use, this is a 3 by 4 inch piece, and you can, I don't know, can you see that I ran it through, there you go, you can see that I ran it through the Raindrops folder, the embossing folder. And then these 2 pieces are 1 by 4 from the designer series paper. Now you'll notice that this one is a whole lot pinker, and that's because this particular piece of designer series paper is a blend of the Mango Melody and the Flirty Flamingo. So depending on where you cut it, you're going to get more of one color or the other. And what I had left just happened to be more of the Mango Melody. So that's what it's going to look like, but it brings out the color in the flowers. All right, these are also embossed with the embossing folder, the Raindrops, which you will get in your kit. All right, and then we're going to use another 3 by 4 inch piece for the inside. I'm going to set these aside. This I cut from the designer series paper, and I can't show you that piece of paper because I have used it all up and my new order has not come in. But these are some of the scraps I have left. And it shows you that you get the turtle, the rabbit. Here's a piece with a little bit of the fox. It's also where on some of the other cards where I get the flowers. So you get two whole, on that designer series paper, you get 2 whole sheets of each design, but I've already used that one up. So I did have this ready to go for this card. Then we'll also use the loose daisy embellishments, and you'll receive that in your kit, just enough for the card. And I don't know if you can see, I used one here, here, and here. I also used the rhinestone basic jewels here, here, and here. And I was just trying to give the effect of, a little more of an effect of rain. So we will use those, and then we use the white glittered organdy ribbon. All right. This piece is for the sentiment. So we're going to go ahead and get the sentiment ready. I'll bring in a stamping block. And this sentiment says, rainy days are better with you. And we're going to stamp that in black memento ink. Let me move my cardstock out. Put that right there. Rainy days are better with you. And let's see. Oh, we're going to stamp it right in the center. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp with my chamois. Put my black ink away before I really mess up. Put my stamp back in here. All right. And get out my, what did I do with them? My style, here they are. The stylish shape dies. So I'm going to need this one for my sentiment. And I believe it's this one. Yeah. For my little circle here. These dies, I have used them over and over and over again, the stylish shape dies. So I'll set that aside. I do need to grab a piece of old olive. I did leave that out. So I'm gonna grab a scrap of old olive. And actually, I'm going to have to cut this scrap of old olive to allow it to fit through my mini cut and emboss. So, all right. So while we've got the trimmer here, I'm going to go ahead and cut my Flirty Flamingo cardstock. So first of all, I'm going to cut 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. This is 8 1/2 wide. So I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4. I do hope you can see this. All right. So I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4, and that gives me my 3 1/4 by 8 1/2 inch piece, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Here's my score blade, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. So we'll set that aside, and then I need another piece that's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to do my 4 1/4. And then my 5 1/2. And we've got that ready to go. All right. That is all of the trimming that we need to do. So I'll put my trimmer aside. Now I'm going to bring in my cut and emboss. This little machine is so handy. If you do not have one, you will want one. Oh my goodness, it's handy. All right. So now let me put my sentiment. Trying to get this where you can see it. All right. And this little die fits beautifully with this sentiment. So I've got it lined up. And I'm going to put me a little piece of washi tape to hold it down. Put my top plate on. And here we go. All right. There we go. Our sentiment is ready. Put my little piece of washi tape back. Put my die back on my magnetic sheet. And now we're going to cut the circle. So I'm just going to put it right there. Well, let's see. There we go. Well, come on. I'm twisting and going every which way, aren't I? Let's see if I can. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get it to go through. You have to work with it just a little bit. It gets perfickety. It doesn't like stuff up front. Well, there we go. Plus, my plates are well used and a little bit warped. And it really doesn't like that either. All right, that's all the die cutting we're going to do. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to put this right here. I'm sure you can tell that my voice sometimes is a little stronger, a little louder. It's because I'm having to stand up to see to try to see what you can see. And when I sit back down, I'm not right over the microphone. All right. Here we go. We've got all of our pieces ready. So the first thing that we're going to do is adhere this. You know what? It's not cut right, is it? Let me look. Hold on. Maybe it is. It just doesn't seem that way. Hang on a minute. I'm wondering if this is a little longer than it's supposed to be. It's 3 1/4 by 8 1/2. Let me bring my trimmer back in because I may have written my dimensions down wrong, or I may have just measured it wrong. Nope, I did 3 3/4, and it should be 3 1/4. That's going to make a huge difference. All right. Now. All right, now we're ready to go. All right, now so I'm going to on the main piece. This is your main piece, 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm going to adhere my 2 little strips of designer series paper, one on each end, and you want to make sure your raindrops are going the right way. Let me put my little flappy thing under the rubber band. I'll keep it from doing that. All right, here we go. It doesn't take much adhesive. I'm going to put this one right here, leaving just the littlest border on each edge. The same thing with the piece on the other side. Get my adhesive going. Put a little bit more right in the corner there. Make sure my raindrops are going the right way. There we go. Now, this piece is going to fit perfectly. You know, and I need to trim the bottom just a little bit. Guess I was flustered. And although that should have been 8.5, but I'm going to trim my bottom just the tiniest little bit, because it didn't seem to fit just perfect. Yeah. And now I'm going to run my nail along this just to smooth it up a little bit. All right, now this is going to fit perfect right there, right in between those two pieces of designer series paper. But before we do that, we're going to add this piece of designer series paper to the front. And you want to make sure your raindrops are going the right way. Of course, you embossed it with the flowers in mind. So we're going to put that right in the center there. And we're going to go ahead and adhere our cute little fox with the umbrella. We're going to put him on our circle. Alright. Actually, I did not need to put the adhesive on the umbrella. So I'm just going to grab one of my cloths and dab it off, because I'm going to use dimensionals on the circle and the umbrella. So I'll go ahead and put my dimensionals on my circle and on my umbrella. All right. And I'm going to move this dimensional over more toward the center so that I can hang this off the edge a little bit. There we go. And then my sentiment piece is also going to go on with dimensionals. And we're going to overlap that just a tiny bit right there. All right. We're going to go ahead before we glue it down, and we're going to tie the ribbon. Just bring it around right snug up against the fold there. And bring it down. And we're just going to tie a flat knot. We're not going to do a bow because we want this one piece of ribbon to There we go. And then we need to trim it. There we go. So now we've got our ribbon on. And we're ready to adhere it down. So I'm going to use my, I'm sorry. My husband is over here working on my other computer, and it started making a noise. So, all right. And as soon as he gets that up and running, he's going to turn it around so that I can see you. So I can see who's on and who's commented. I'm sorry that I don't see your comments. But here we go. The important thing is the card. So there we go. We're not going to put this piece in until we stamp it. But we've got this much done. And so I'm going to go ahead now, set that aside, stamp this. And I'm going to use the flowers and the raindrops. So I'm going to do just a faint stamping. In fact, I think I'll let's use Smoky Slate. See how that does. Let me do it here. Yeah, that'll be a little bit fainter than black. So I'm just going to put flowers right there, because you want to leave room for a message. So I've got my flowers. Actually, I think I'll go on and do another set. Why not? Why not have flowers all across the bottom? So I cleaned that stamp with my chamois, put it up, and now our raindrops. And for these, I'm going to stamp off. Stamp off. And I'm just doing them at the top. Stamp off. There we go. Now we've got some raindrops coming down. And our flowers growing. And there's room left for a sweet sentiment. Of course, you can write over that too. All right. Now we're ready to put this into the center. All right. Okay. All we lack now are our embellishments. Let me put my dimensionals away and get out my loose daisy embellishments. Aren't they cute? There's white ones and yellow ones. Can you see? All right. And I'm also going to use my Take a Pick tool, the putty end, because that helps to pick these up. And I'm going to use yellow ones. So I'm going to put a dot of glue right where I want it. I want one of them right here. So I'll put a dot of glue, put my embellishment down. You know what I did? I smeared it. So now I'm not sure how much glue I actually have left on it. All right, I'm going to put another one right here. You don't need but the tiniest bit. Pick up a yellow one, put it down. I think I have a dot of glue on my scissors now. All right, and one more. Aren't these cute? One more right here. Put that one there. And then we'll cap those. And then we're going to use our Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And I'm just going to use the small ones. I actually, looks like on this I did a little bit bigger. But I think I'm just going to use the small ones. So I'm going to put one right here. I think it'll be easier to mail that way. One right here. And one right up here. All right. There we go. We are finished with our card. Isn't he the cutest thing? And I don't know if you can see, but he's shiny. I don't know. Let's see if I can get my light to... Can you see how shiny he is? I don't know if you can see that or not. Maybe right in there. He is shiny. So that's why this designer series paper is called Specialty Designer Series paper, because it's got a sheen to it. And it even has an embossed feel on part of it. All right. So we have got our Stamp Club, monthly Stamp Club ready to go with these cards and a shaker card. Isn't that exciting? All right. And we're using this month, we're featuring Playing in the Rain. Now, if you don't have Playing in the Rain, you can use whatever stamps you've got to fill in those areas that need to be stamped. However, if you want to get Playing in the Rain, you can order it for, let's see, here's the catalog. And here's the designer series paper. Can you see that? The designer series paper, it is adorable. And then the stamps and the dies. Of course, you could also, you're getting though the embossing folder, but you could order the loose daisy embellishments. But you can go ahead and, if you want to order the Playing in the Rain bundle, it's $54.75. And if you want to add that to your monthly Stamp Club order, then I will pay the shipping and the tax for that. So you would add $54.75 to your $35 for the monthly Stamp Club. And I want to add that if you participate in the monthly Stamp Club for 6 months in a row, it has to be in a row, then I will give you a swag bag, $25 worth of free products. So that's just a thank you for participating in the monthly Stamp Club. So I love doing this. I love making up the samples and, trying to come up with different things. I thank you for participating, for watching the video. I see that Kay is on. I can barely, when I stand up and look down at my phone, I can barely see her comment. So thank you for being here. I don't know who else was on, but thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching the replay on YouTube, thank you. And be sure and subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll be notified every time I post another YouTube. So I appreciate all of you so much. If you have any questions, please comment, let me know, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. God bless you. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. Bye-bye.